Call 1-800-767-5900. That's 1-800-767-5900.
Investors. Let Value Line help you pinpoint stocks that could score big price gains. We'll rush you, as a bonus, our new ranks of 1,700 stocks for price performance in the next 12 months. We expect the 100 top-ranked stocks to outperform all the rest, but avoid the 400 lowest. Value Line has ranked stocks this way for over a quarter of a century with these powerful results. And here's a second great bonus. Value Line's current full-page reports on 1,700 stocks, each with up to 15 years of statistics, fully indexed for you in this giant reference set. Your reference will be constantly updated with more than 100 new stock reports sent to you each week. To get this reference set and new performance ranks as instant bonuses, try Value Line for 10 weeks, now only $55. Call 800-535-2947 now and also receive Barron's Dictionary of Finance and Investment Terms as an extra bonus. 800-535-2947. Call now.
A mixed bag of economic reports points to a sluggish, stagnant economy. And after months of mudslinging, the candidates finally sit down and start debating and arguing the issues. All this plus a wrap-up of the third quarter profit picture for some of Wall Street's biggest names. The Week in Review, next on Business Insiders.
The thing that saved us in this global economic slowdown has been our exports.
All right, well, the president trumpeting the fact that exports have really gotten this economy moving around or will be close to moving it around. And many economists will argue that 70% of whatever economic turnaround we have had have been directly attributable to exports. But you wouldn't know it in the latest export-import picture we got on the trade front. Take a look at the trade deficit for the month of August, the most recent figure we have, coming in at about $9 billion. It was getting worse, not getting better, and it was a lot worse than many had thought. Putting this in perspective for us tonight will be John Liscio of the Liscio Report. Good to have you with us, John. Also, Bill Wolman, chief economist here at CNBC, as well as Business Week magazine. Yep. Welcome, Bill. Audrey Freedman, also an economist of some renown herself and president of Manpower Plus. Good to have you, Audrey. And finally, Roy Blumberg, our market analyst here at CNBC. Welcome, Roy.
Nice to be here, Neil.
Audrey, I'm curious of one development here, certainly on what was going on in this export picture. We're not selling that much abroad because of the sick economies there, and people are skittish to do much buying here. What's happening?
Well, one thing I don't really understand is why Mr. Bush, when he knew those figures yesterday, as he did, would say that we have to depend on our exports for the growth that he expects we'll see. He could have been looking at
the great picture, the bigger picture.
The bigger picture, but he did this last month, too. He did it with the employment figures. In September, when the employment figures were going down, becoming more serious, he announced the night before, when he already had the figures, that things were looking up. Now, it's not, I don't understand why, when he knows that the figures are going to be bad, he sort of prepares us by telling us things are getting better.
Are you, and they're not better. Are you attacking the President of the United States of America?
No, I'm saying he doesn't seem to realize that he already possesses enough information that he cannot step into a hole.
He doesn't. No, someone's got to tell him, Audrey. Those figures are available to the government. They were available 4 o'clock.
They are available at the White House, Bill.
They're available at the White House, but it doesn't mean the president knows them. I mean, among other things, he was not, he wasn't in Washington. But the fact of the matter is, it just shows that there's fairly sloppy staff work going on at a minimum. So it's sort of a disturbing factor, and he really got sandbagged by that number this morning.
You could also make the argument, though, that simply he was looking for the big picture. I think you're making a little bit too much of it. I agree with you. Sometimes he has taken a not particularly good statistic and tried to make it look good. Well, that's what you do when the numbers aren't particularly good. But his point is a correct point. The export market is probably going to be one of the things that will drive us out of a slow economy.
The big picture right now is that in Europe and also in Japan, they're going through reversals. They're either in a long-term recession, Great Britain, for example, or they're entering one in Japan and in Germany. So, our opportunities to export to those countries are very poor.
Well, they're poor, but maybe they're not quite as poor as you think, because don't forget the dollar has been very low, and a weak dollar makes our goods seem less expensive over there. So suddenly...
It's not working yet.
Well, but there's always a lag, Audrey, and you know there's a lag.
But it doesn't happen instantaneously. Roy, there's a hell of a lag here. I mean, we're waiting and waiting and waiting.
Sometimes the lag is 12 months.
All right, maybe. But John Liscio, what about the argument that we also had a pretty worrisome trade report before the last major crash of the stock market back in '87, and it was a Friday.